resources that you don't even know about. Today, we are at the Malawi High Commission and we'll be speaking to the High Commissioner, His Excellency Benard Sande. He will tell us about the vast resources and investment opportunities that Malawi has to offer.
First of all, let me welcome you to the Malawi High Commission in London. As you said, my name is Benard Sande, the High Commissioner for Malawi to the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. Talking about investment opportunities in Malawi, first of all, let me just point out what a lot of people, or quite a significant number of people, are familiar with about Malawi. In tourism terms, Malawi is referred to as the warm heart of Africa. I want to talk about that because it sets the context of what makes business thrive. Malawi is called the warm heart of Africa because of the warmth of the people. They are welcoming and very friendly. That's what Malawians are known for. But not only that, in terms of tourism, Malawi offers very interesting tourist attractions. Apart from wildlife tourism, for which Africa is known for, Malawi also offers beach life, and it has a diverse culture as well as the breathtaking topography of mountains, plateaus, as well as valleys and plains. So it has a lot to offer in terms of tourism. Wildlife game reserves, we have them, there are 12 of them. Some of them small, which are right in the major cities of the country, the three major cities of the country. But the other ones are quite large, with the various types of wildlife, including the Big Five. Now, the obvious questions that people would ask is, why should you invest in Malawi? Again, I'll look at the context. Before I go any further, look at the context which would make investment possible, which would make an investment location attractive. And that is the nature of the country in terms of its political system, as well as how peaceful it is. Malawi is a democracy. It's a multi-party democracy, and it has all along, since independence in 1964, been politically stable. That's important for investment. Not only that, Malawi, I think, along in keeping with the fact that the people of Malawi are friendly and warm, Malawi is known as a peaceful country, and according to the World Peace Index, Malawi, I think, is rated as the second most peaceful country in Africa. But also it is rated as the third safest place in the world. Now, if you combine that with the fact that Malawi is a paradise in terms of tourism. That's where you would want everybody to be. That's where you would want to be, both as a tourist, but also as an investor, as a business person. But beyond that, Malawi is ideal for investment for any international business person, because English is the official language. In fact, it is a language of instruction in schools, in the education system. And given that English is the language of business internationally, that makes doing business in the country easy. For British investors, because we have a long historical relationship with the United Kingdom, British investors might also wish to know that the legal system in Malawi is based on English common law, and the conduct of business both in government and the private sector is rooted in British tradition. In addition to that, the Malawi government offers a wide range of incentives. For instance, there are general incentives like duty-free importation of capital goods and raw materials, and some allowances, tax allowances on training of local people working in industry. And there are a lot other investment incentives, details of which are contained in this document. This document outlines investment incentives in various sectors in quite some detail. But it also mentions that when it comes to the export processing zone, because we have export processing zones in Malawi, the importation of capital goods, raw materials, and even exports are not subject to any tax. But the other thing that an international investor might be interested in is that, given that today the world is a global marketplace, is a global village, and it's one common marketplace, of course, facilitated by IT and social media. We no longer talk specifically in terms of the domestic market, because the world is open for business. Malawi has access both to regional markets and to international markets. Regional markets of the Southern Africa Development Community, common market for East and Southern Africa, and also to international markets. It has access, for instance, preferential access of its exports to the European Union, as well as to the United States of America under the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act. But it would also be of interest to an investor to realize that investor rights, the rights of investors, are guaranteed under the Constitution of Malawi and the laws relating to business, various laws relating to business. But not only that, Malawi is a member of the Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, MIGA, as well as a party to the International Convention on Investment Disputes. So investors' rights are well protected both by domestic laws and by the international conventions and bodies to which Malawi belongs. Now, what are the industries? I often refer to Malawi as a virgin land when it comes to investment. In other words, the opportunities for investment are many and varied in many sectors. But it's important to point out that the Malawi government itself has prioritized certain sectors. It has prioritized these sectors because it's the intention of government to build the private sector in the country based on its policy to move from aid to trade. The government is keen on developing the private sector, not only to create jobs and transform the economy, but also to build its capacity for exports. Now, in that respect, it has prioritized 5 sectors, and these sectors are outlined here. These are agriculture, energy, mining, tourism, physical infrastructure, including ICT. Now, let me just say a word or two about each one of them. When we are talking about agriculture, that's a generic term. We're referring to not only farming, but also animal husbandry, livestock development, that is, as well as fisheries. Fisheries, I think let me just elaborate on fisheries. Malawi, as you know, has the 3rd largest lake in Africa, a freshwater lake with the various species of fish which are available for harvesting, exploitation. And I must say this, I must emphasize this, because generally there is a feeling that the fish is over-harvested in Lake Malawi. But you might wish to know that there is a large stock of fish which is in deep waters in Lake Malawi, and that is available for fishing. There is an opportunity there. But apart from farming, livestock development, and fishing, when we're talking about agriculture, we are also emphasizing on adding value to agricultural products. In other words, agro-processing. This is the area that we are very keen on. Reason is that agriculture is the backbone of the country's economy. It accounts for 35% of GDP and 90% of exports. 85% of the people in Malawi live in rural areas and they depend on agriculture. Now, if you have a capacity to add value to agricultural products. That should have a big multiplier effect in the economy, and that should impact positively on the large number of people who are engaged in agriculture, and therefore we should be able to enhance the income of the majority of the people. Talking about the people, there are various schemes that have been adopted. Under the Malawi export strategy, there are some crops that have been identified for promotion in terms of trade, export. And these are generally pulses, sunflower, and rice. You might be interested to know that we have very good varieties of rice in Malawi, which are in great demand, particularly in the region. So these are some of the opportunities that can be looked at. Moving from agriculture, let me say something about energy. And here mainly we are talking about power generation, electricity. Currently, the generation of power, it barely exceeds, by a very small margin, the demand for power. And because of what we envisage to be an increased, we look at the future with a lot of hope in terms of investments in the economy, in various sectors in the economy. And that would necessitate power. I just talked about mining. Mining requires a lot of power, and therefore the government is keen in terms of generation of power to move from the current situation where power is just barely enough for the economy. We want to move beyond that so that we should be able to have enough power to service various industries. Already the government is making some efforts. It's working with the government of Mozambique to tap some energy from Caborabassa to Malawi. But it is also implementing a project funded by the US government under the Millennium Challenge account to rationalize and improve energy generation and transmission. These efforts that I've just cited should be able to improve the generation and transmission of power in the country. But given the kind of economic activities that we envisage to take place in the country very soon, that we need a lot more energy, and investment in that respect is available in all types of the energy mix, be it hydro power generation, wind energy, solar energy, thermal energy. All these would be required to provide the energy that the country needs. So there is great need for investment in that sector, in the energy sector. Coming to mining, And this is an interesting area because it's a new area for Malawi. Malawi has traditionally been an agricultural country. It has not been known to be a mining country. The first mine that was opened in Malawi is an uranium mine, which is operated by an Australian company. But there are traces of a lot of other minerals. In fact, right now, there is a beehive of activity in terms of exploration. There are quite a number of companies, foreign companies that are in Malawi, trying to explore various minerals. And of interest would be oil and gas. There are prospects or there are indications that there may be oil and gas in the country, and there's some companies that are exploring that. There are also some companies that are exploring rare earth minerals. There are traces of other types of minerals like copper, gold, phosphates. Phosphates are there. Bauxite is there, and a lot of other minerals. I think we should be able to provide you with a list of the minerals that we think could be available in the country. But I think it's also important to point out that right now the government is carrying out a geophysical mapping with the assistance of the World Bank in order to determine the type of minerals that we have and the quantities that may be there. After that exercise, we should be able to have good and reliable data on the kind of minerals and the quantities that we may have. So that is an area that is very exciting, and we invite our prospective investors to look at it.
You are invited to Pan-African Business Expo, a historic event for the African Caribbean business communities in the United Kingdom and abroad, promoting international trade with Africa and the Caribbean. The event will be held at King's College, London, Strand, on Thursday, 17th April 2014, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. This year's theme is Empowering Businesses to Engage Effectively in International Trade. The Pan-African Business Expo is a platform to meet and network with government officials, diplomats, investors, professionals, entrepreneurs, and various business representatives. The Expo features workshops on various aspects and issues relating to international trade with Africa and Caribbean. Keynote address by ambassadors and high commissioners from various African and Caribbean countries. Invited speakers are Prem Goyal, OBE, CEO Global Markets Consultants Limited, Leslie Batchelor, Director General of the Institute of Export, IOE, Brian Trehen, MBE, UK Trade and Investment International Advisor, Emmanuel Wilfred Jones, entrepreneur and founder of the Black Farmer Food brand, Michael Packer, CBE, strategist and entrepreneur, John Hilaire, Executive Director of War on Want, Musvari, Her Royal Highness Betty Makoni, multi-global award winner, gender expert, founder, Girl Child Network Worldwide, Sonia Brown, MBE, business communicator, branding strategist, Mavis Amankwa, entrepreneur, PR guru, author, and motivational speaker, and other distinguished speakers. This is a great opportunity to come and explore business opportunities in various African and Caribbean countries. Showcase your products and services to potential clients in the United Kingdom, Africa, and the Caribbean. Network with like-minded potential business partners in UK and abroad. You will meet potential investors and learn how to access funding to start and develop your business. Exhibition stands are tailored to suit your business needs. For sponsorship, exhibition, delegate packages or bookings, visit www.panafricanbusinessexpo.com. International delegates and exhibitors should call +44 79 3135 3737 or +44 207 873 2165 or email sales@packersforevents.com. Delegate entry fee at £60 and that includes lunch, access to all workshops and drink reception. Exhibition packages from £150. Organized by Packers Imports and Exports, Packers for Events. Sponsored and supported by Pan-African Business Expo. Be there.